Have you ever wondered how to get your classes completely quiet, listening, engaged and interested? Or maybe you want to teach in schools, kindies, early childhood centres, vacation care, but you're unsure of how to manage big groups. Or maybe the thought of teaching teens is really scary. Well, welcome back. In this video, we're talking about classroom management, your key to success. I'm Lorraine Rushton, founder of Zenergy Yoga, and after teaching over 20,000 hours of yoga in schools, I'm going to share with you my best 4 tips to manage your classes that have been tried, tested by myself and the thousands of graduates from my courses that really work. Skills like how to have your teen boys quiet in seconds, how to manage all possible scenarios that could arise and disrupt your classes with ease and efficiently. And how many of you would like smooth flowing classes without any classroom management issues? Well, you can. And you know, the key to teaching any age, any size, in any location, all depends on classroom discipline and how well you manage your classes. It's such an important area. It can make all the difference between a great, fulfilling class versus a nightmare, exhausting experience. You know, it's what makes the difference between a good teacher and a good teacher who can teach a good class. It's why so many teachers are put off teaching kids in the first place because of the fear of being able to manage them. And it's what stops a really good teacher from being just that, and why maybe they're not doing the best job that they can. I learned the importance of classroom management really early on. I was into my 3rd year of teaching yoga in schools, and I had a contract to teach an entire high school of girls as part of their religious curriculum. And after teaching 27 classes throughout the first week to over 2,000 students, I learned really quickly that something needed to change. And it wasn't my lesson plan or the content of the lesson, it was the way I was conducting and managing the class. So here are my top 4 tips for managing your classes really well. My number one tip would be boundaries. This is one of the biggest tips I can possibly give you. You know, children and teens love and they thrive from well-defined boundaries. They really need to know what goes and what doesn't go in a yoga class, because maybe they've never been to a yoga class before, so they don't know that yoga classes are done in complete silence and there's no talking. So start to think through what would be important for children or teens to know. Maybe it's to take their shoes off and their socks off before they walk into the room, or they leave their phones and their keys in their bags, or maybe no running in the yoga room, or there's no talking during a yoga class. And I know that it may seem as though it's really obvious to us adults, but remember, this is a brand new adventure for many children and teens. So tip number 1 is to set your boundaries for what goes and what doesn't go in a yoga class. My second tip is probably the most important tip of all. The rules, the rules, the rules. Choose about 3 to 5 rules for yoga class, and it could be things like stay on your mat, or listen to me, or no talking during yoga. I found that young children are very used to rules, but as we get older and we get into the teenagers, you know, it helps to give them a reason why. I know as an adult, if we understand why there's a rule in place and there's a good reason for it, then we're more likely to follow it. So set up just a few, 2 or 3 good rules and follow through. Tip number 3, with rules come consequences. So once you have started or you've stated your rules, have consequences ready for anyone who doesn't stick to the rules. This could be to give out gentle reminders, moving children to different spots in the room or next to you, or having a little moment of time out. I found that rules without consequences lack substance and they don't matter, therefore they don't work. Number 4 is to follow through. That once you've taken the time to set up clear boundaries, you've explained how a yoga class works, you've given your rules, your consequences, then my final tip is to follow through. If you want your class to have any level of discipline, then you also need to be disciplined and keep your word on your consequences. You know, remember that rules, boundaries and consequences are a normal part of mind and discipline training. The rules are always there for them, they're not for you. The purpose is for every child to experience the benefits of yoga. When you're dealing with behavior issues or class, they're never going to experience the still calm that yoga provides and that you're there to deliver. So set up your class with clear boundaries, stick to them, follow through on them, and you're going to walk out feeling fulfilled and empowered, knowing that all the magic of yoga was there. Good luck, and hope you've enjoyed this video and it helps you to be the best children's yoga teacher you can be.